With all this talk about artificial intelligence, there's really one big, urgent question that seems to be on everybody's mind. It's about our jobs, our skills, and really our future. So let's just dive right in and explore it. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? The core anxiety at the heart of the whole AI conversation. Will a machine get so smart that it just makes what we do for a living obsolete? To help us get our heads around this, we're going to lean on the insights of someone who knows a thing or two about this stuff, LinkedIn co-founder and AI pioneer Reid Hoffman. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of Hoffman's entire perspective. It's all built on this fundamental choice. We can approach this massive technological shift with fear, or we can look at it with a sense of hope and opportunity. And that's the lens we're going to use today. So our first step is making this really crucial mental shift. And look, this isn't about pretending there aren't real challenges ahead. It's about taking that passive anxiety that I think we all feel and actively turning it into real, tangible action. So how do you do that? Well, Hoffman's take is that the best antidote to fear is curiosity. Don't back away from AI, lean into it. Go play with the tools. See what they can actually do. Because that simple act of engagement is the first step to figuring out where you, as a human, still fit into the picture and how you can use these new powers. Okay, but let's be real. This isn't about some kind of blind optimism. Hoffman is super clear that this transition is going to be tough. There are going to be, as he puts it, potholes along the way. You are absolutely going to need to learn new things, and you'll have to do it while the AI itself is getting better and better every single day. It's a demanding process for sure, but a necessary one. And that brings us to what might be the most empowering idea in this whole conversation. The core argument here isn't that AI is coming to replace you. No. It's that AI is here to give you superpowers, to amplify the things that you already do. This lays it out perfectly, right? You've got these two paths. The fear-based path sees AI as a replacement, but the hope-based path sees it as an amplifier. The key here is that it's a tool that lets you hand off all the tedious, boring parts of your job so you can focus your unique human brain power on the stuff that actually matters. Let's make this super practical. Think about a writer. They don't have to stare at a blank page anymore. Instead, they can throw their main ideas into an AI like GPT-4 and get a first draft back in seconds. Now, this doesn't replace the writer. It puts them on a launch pad. It lets them jump right to the interesting, high-level work of editing, shaping the story, and adding their own unique voice. And this new way of working actually has a name. It's called a co-pilot. I want you to picture an AI partner sitting right there next to you, helping you write code, doing research for you, organizing data, all while you stay in the pilot seat making the big strategic calls. And listen, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. The timeline here is fast. Hoffman predicts that by 2025, that's next year, every single professional engineer will be using an AI co-pilot. And by 2026, all of us will have some kind of AI assistant. The message couldn't be clearer. The folks who start playing with these tools right now are going to be the ones who master them when they become essential for everyone. If you're still a little skeptical, think about this great analogy. People were genuinely terrified that calculators would make us all stop learning math. But that's not what happened, is it? We still learn the core principles, but we let the machine handle the tedious long division. AI is just a calculator for much, much bigger tasks, freeing up our minds for higher level, creative, and strategic work. Okay, so if AI is freeing up all this mental energy, what new frontiers does that open up for the entire economy? We've seen how it changes individual jobs. Now let's zoom out and look at the massive opportunities for entrepreneurs. Where's the next gold rush? Which brings us to the multi-trillion-dollar question. I mean, you look at giants like Google, Apple, Microsoft. They seem to own everything. Is there any room left for a new company to come along and build something even bigger? And what does Reid Hoffman say to that? His answer is amazing. He says almost for sure. He truly believes we are standing at the beginning of a new wave of innovation that's going to create the next 5 or 10 mega companies, expanding the whole pie, not just slicing it differently. So, if you're an entrepreneur out there, where should you be looking? Well, Hoffman points to these key areas. He sees unbelievable potential to completely reinvent huge industries like healthcare and education, and to create brand new kinds of apps, marketplaces, and social platforms, all powered by AI. And just to give you an idea of the sheer scale we're talking about, listen to this. He says we have the tech right now to put a medical assistant on your phone that's better than the average doctor for initial guidance. That isn't science fiction. According to Hoffman, the tech is here today. It's a world-changing idea just waiting for someone to build it. So let's zoom out one last time to the biggest picture of all. How does this kind of technology reshape society itself? What's it going to mean for the very nature of work, for things like social safety nets, and maybe even how we think about our own personal legacies? You've probably heard this idea kicked around, right? Universal Basic Income, or UBI. The government just gives everyone a regular check, no questions asked. It sounds like something straight out of Star Trek. But is it actually going to happen? Well, Hoffman's answer is a pretty firm no. At least, not anytime soon. He sees two big hurdles. First, the real-world physical challenge of building a world where robots actually do all the work. And second, something more fundamental, the basic human drive to compete, to build, and to achieve. He thinks a much more likely model might be something called conditional basic income. It's the difference between a payout with no strings attached and one that's tied to being engaged in society, maybe through community service or learning a new skill. One encourages people to participate, the other risks passivity. And now for something that feels straight out of the future. Hoffman is already experimenting with his own AI, what he calls a digital twin. Just imagine an AI version of yourself that your great-grandkids could actually talk to and learn from, or an AI that could handle your initial meetings for you. This could fundamentally change our lives, both personally and professionally. So when you boil it all down, here's the most important takeaway. AI isn't some destiny that's just happening to us. It's a tool, probably the most powerful tool humanity has ever created. The fear of being replaced gives way to the hope of being amplified. So the only real question left is the one you see right here. What will you choose to build?